church. What's your name?
Britney Frances,
Which church do you go to?
the Bronx.
The Bronx. How did you come to church? What happened that you decided to come to the Universal Church?
Well, I grew up in the church as a child, and as I grew older, I started drifting and drifting and drifting until I had no desire to come anymore whatsoever. So I left for a while, and then I came to New York because I'm from Jamaica. So when I came here, my mom would send me to church on Sundays because she worked. So I would go by myself. But the minute that the service was over, I left. I would be gone. They would try to get me for youth group, for Godlywood, to let me stay, do something, but I would just leave.
Why? What happened?
I had no desire to go to church. It's like my mother was forcing me to go. So the minute the service was over, I felt like I did my part. I made her happy and I left.
So you felt forced to come to church.
Yeah.
So basically you were coming just to satisfy your mom.
Yeah.
But inside of you, you had no desire.
No.
When did you change? What happened that you changed?
As I started coming, they started recruiting me to join the youth group. I started doing more. I started being there more. I started hanging out with people my own age that were interested in God, in doing the work of God. So as I continued going, and I started going for myself, I started going because I wanted to go. So that's what really made me change, going there for me and not for my mom.
The time you started coming, how old were you?
At
Do you
first, I
remember?
started as
Yeah.
a baby, but when I came here, I was 16.
You were 16.
Yes.
Which type of problem you faced? Because we know it's teenagers. To keep a teenager in the presence of God is not an easy thing. You know? It's hard because of a lot of opportunities, friends, temptation, and we know it's a battle for many teenagers to remain in the presence of God, principally in this place, in this country. You said you changed, but what changed? What happened to you? Which problems you had that you have to struggle to overcome?
Well, I watched pornography. Before I came to New York, I was in a relationship with a girl, and I had problems with my father. We never really had a good relationship. I always had an attitude towards him for absolutely no reason.
So you are talking about three different situations. Mm-hmm. You were in a relationship with a girl, watching pornography, mm-hmm. and problem with your father.
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. And how did you change this situation? What made you get involved in things like this? Do you know?
I don't really know. Curiosity, friends. I was being led in the wrong direction, and I just fell into those things.
What did you do in the church for you to change this situation? Because Brittany, I do believe there are parents watching us now, listening to what you are talking about, and probably they have children doing the things you used to do that time. What did you do in the church to break free?
A lot of it was just making a decision that I'm going to stop watching pornography, that I'm not going to live the life that I used to live. A lot of it was just me having to decide that it was time for me to change. And the more I came on Fridays, on Wednesdays, I started seeking, I started coming to the deliverance service, and I never manifested because most of it was my actions, it was in my mind. So I had to free my mind and just make a decision that I had to change to be free.
What made you become an assistant?
As I started coming more and more I started doing more, I started seeing that I wanted to do more for God. And I never really even understood what it was to be an assistant, to serve God. But little by little, you see how God wants to use you, because He never brings anyone into His presence to do anything small or to do anything halfway. He always brings you here for a purpose. So I believe that God wants to use me more. He has something planned for me. And I see many people come, they're suffering, and then you go to a person, you help them, and you realize that you had a part to play in their freedom or in a change in their life. You feel like, yes, God counts on me. God has something that He wants to use me to do.
Are you happy?
Yes.
Okay, those of you who have teenagers at home, doing the things that she used to do that time, there is a way out. Should not give up. It's not easy. How long did you take to change?
I came when I was 16. It took me about 6 months, almost a year, to
Almost
fully
a year.
decide that.
From 6 months to 1 year.
About that.
So it was not overnight. Huh?
No.
Okay, my friends, this is what God has done, and today He's able to use her.